nice to meet you.
Really nice to meet you.
Congratulations on the film and also the Venice jury.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's great to hear that.
Yeah.
The bike in the film is a kind of really potent symbol. It holds a lot of meaning. I wondered kind of why did you pick a bike in particular?
Yeah, because it has a lot of meaning, and yet it is soft and not very intimidating. And for me, it was very important to tell a story without being like over the top. You know, it's very. I wanted to tell a story that's celebrated back home, and the bicycle has so much to offer, and about mobility, about freedom, about acceleration, about all that. But still, it says it in a way that is very environmentally friendly, or something like that, you know. But I mean, culturally friendly. It's a toy at the end.
Yeah, and it can connect to children's desire for a bike outside
Exactly.
of the wider meaning.
Absolutely. And also I felt like I was very much influenced by Italian Neorealism and The Bicycle Thief, and for me, I think it's a great school to adapt back home, to bring only reality, go outside and film reality, because I think the reality outside is so much rich, and there's so much. It has so much to offer. You just put a camera there, and you will find like a great scene there, and so much implications.
So, did you approach the filmmaking with a kind of neo-realist idea of how to make it as well, like in terms of the actual nuts and bolts of filming it day to day?
Oh, definitely. And even when I was writing, the first idea, just when it happened, I come from a small town, and I went to public schools, and I had this, I felt it is a world that not a lot of people know about. So I had the girl that represent that. And then I wanted to tell a lot about the world in Saudi and what is happening in women's and all that. But I don't want to say it in a way that is here what I think about Saudi Arabia, or here it is. I wanted to tell it in a way that is very much like Iranian films, and very much like The Bicycle Thief, where you just go there and film, and you discover so much about like Italy after the war and whatever. It is the same way you discover things about Saudi, and it's always like the child and hope
And obviously, a lot of the audience for the film are going to be cultural outsiders looking into it.
Yeah.
How much did you try and explain things for the audience, kind of if you weren't familiar with some of the rules, for instance? How much were you kind of conscious of that whilst you're writing the script, of trying to
Yeah.
explain that sort of stuff?
Yeah, of course I was conscious, because it was a co-production between Saudi and Germany. So I knew that the film hopefully will get distributed in Europe and places other than Saudi Arabia. And I wanted to open up the culture. And for me, that was like to make an authentic film and not to lose authenticity, and yet like not to explain too much. And I tried to just build the scene in a way that is not very complex, yet it's rich. So it's like there is something in there. People can find it if they look close enough, you know, and that is how it is. I try to, but not to also to emphasize it, because it is not. Sometimes it is when a director that underestimates how people will see things. It's just like it makes it. They become, for me as a viewer, sometimes I feel they're annoying. You always feel them there, and I don't want to be there. I wanted people to just like be in the world and understand how it is and sense it, and. I had so much faith in the audience that they will discover things and will find it, will see what I mean without me really focusing so much on it.
Yeah, you didn't want it to be a strong polemic.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Your hair's rubbing on the microphone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So you didn't want it to be too much of a kind of a polemic, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
an argument, an issue film.
Absolutely. Definitely. I wanted to avoid that.
Okay. And you said about liking neo-realist films. In terms of growing up, what sort of films were you watching, and did you have a lot of access to lots of different types of films?
Yeah, I grew up watching a lot of films, but nothing no Italian neorealism. It's more of like Hollywood, a lot of like Bollywood, Jackie Chan, and all of that. But I didn't watch high cinema, but it is entertaining. I Blockbuster and all that took me beyond my limited surroundings, and they showed me the world, and I fell in love with the medium and so much power on like just watching a story and fighting people falling in love and fighting for their country and stuff like that. We were kids and we're in a small town. Nothing is happening, and all of a sudden, all of this is happening on screen. So, yeah, and I live and for me to make a film, it's always I want to make entertaining films. I don't want to make films that are that people can't enjoy and just can't just go there and have a laugh. And I don't want to. I know it's a harsh place like Saudi, but I felt it is exciting to go to see a film from a harsh place and yes, feel uplifted and have faith in the people there. It is not like it is for me. That is what cinema is. Maybe a lot of people disagree, but it is a celebration of life for me and joy and yeah.
And it's a wonderful story when you remove all of the cultural specifics to it. It still kind of works on a base level as a story, which is obviously one of the things kind of Hollywood in a way does quite well. Do you think that's something that you pulled from Hollywood and the?
I'm sure I did, maybe not consciously, but I watch so many things, and yeah. So, and for me, yes, entertaining and yeah, making the story accessible is very important. Yeah, it was very important to open other markets for me as well, because it is Saudi in the Middle East. There is no market for films coming from Saudi Arabia, because it is only open to places for the mainstream, and it is mainly Egyptian comedies, and a film like this will never get distributed in the Arab world if it doesn't have backing from like international market, and that is why for me it was very important, and was difficult to have like authenticity and still like trying to open up the story.
So you had you had to get some sort of special permission, is that right, to make the film? Or
well, we had a permission, nothing special. Like the TV is big in Saudi, and all what we've done is to treat it like a TV series and submit in the same place, and we got permission. But the culture itself is very conservative. It's like after we got the permission, it's a different story.
Yeah. So the film presumably won't be seen in cinemas in Saudi Arabia, but will be seen on TV or DVD?
Yes, of course. No, there's no cinemas in Saudi, but we tried to show it, and we are still trying to show it in cultural places, and we sell tickets and stuff like that to bring the concept of film still as I think for cinemas to come back to Saudi, it will be like a couple of years maybe or something, hopefully.
So you're very optimistic about the future?
No, I'm very optimistic. I think the world is changing a lot, and I think like younger generation in Saudi have access to the internet, and they go have education abroad, and then they go back home and they want to have a sort of a normal life where they can enjoy a film or something like that, and things will move into that direction, because that is the nature of life. It's a young country, and a lot of its population, like 70 or 65% of the population below the age of 25. So.
And the girl that plays the lead is obviously, she's fantastic, and she's got kind of real spark to her. How did you find her, and how did you kind of cultivate that in her?
Yeah, we relied a lot on the word of mouth, because we couldn't put an open casting call, and we were waiting, and we have German producers, so how does they were so panicking, because 1 week before principal shooting, and we didn't have the star, the main girl. And then Wad came in, and she was wearing jeans, and she was listening to Justin Bieber, and she was like, it's amazing. It's like exactly the right girl. But and I based the girl on a lot of my niece, like her spirit and her character, and how. And whenever a girl comes in, I wanted to see that girl. And she came in, and she had the same kind of spirit, and she has a beautiful voice. She was listening to Justin Bieber when she was waiting, and we asked her to sing, because there is a singing part in the film, and then she sang for Justin Bieber, and we thought she speaks English, but she doesn't. She only understands Bieber songs. So.
Cool, that's great. Thank you very much.